Okay. One thing I do not agree with, maybe if we open the door.
No!
It'll at least get the air moving.
Circulate a bit.
Okay. So, you have two options. Okay, when you go to graph these. You can change your equation into slope-intercept form, or you can plug in 0 for x and 0 for y. I don't care which way. We want to stick with the finding the intercepts when it's not in slope-intercept form, like we've been doing, where we plug in 0 for x and 0 for y and solve. Okay. So instead of doing slope-intercept form, let's find our intercepts. So let's find what happens when x equals 0. Okay, just like it's an equation. So 2 times 0 minus 3y is less than 12. Okay. So what happens to 2 times 0?
0.
It's 0. Negative 3y is less than 12.
4.
Okay. So I need to divide by what? Negative 3. So we get negative 4. And what did you say, Daniel? Was it Daniel? Oh, sorry, Miss Ayel. We change your sign. You're dividing by a negative number. You only switch the sign when you divide by a negative. So if I was dividing by positive 3, the sign would have stayed. Okay? We only move and switch your sign when we divide by a negative. Okay? Over here. Oops, negative 4. So 2x minus 3 times 0 is less than 12. Okay? So 2x is less than 12. Divide by 2. X is less than 6. So 6, 0. Okay. Plot both of those points, but do not draw your line.
But it will.
On the graph in number 2, plot those points. So 0, negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 6, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's going to go off the graph. Okay.
4.
Okay. I said do not draw your line because in an inequality, we now need to determine, should my line be solid or should it be dashed? Okay. Is that what they're calling it on here? Dashed? Broken, dashed, dotted. Okay. I don't care how you want to address it. They're all the same thing. So when my equation does not have that greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, this automatically tells me that it is a broken line. So when I go to draw my line here, it needs to be open. It is not a solid line. Okay.
Wait, that's not supposed to be graph?
You need to make sure that you identify whether it's broken or solid. If I drew a solid line here, it would be wrong. A solid line here would be wrong. So, Seth just said, how do I determine whether it's solid or broken? Okay, so that's what number 3 is for. Okay, so a solid line. would be either less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. This here and here determine that it is a solid line. That equal to tells you that it's a solid line. So I tell kids, if you see the solid line in the bottom, it's a solid line on your graph. So then which ones are going to give me broken lines? The ones without the line. So you're less than or you're greater than.
So what that means is anything that's on that broken line is not a solution to that equation.
Okay, now I need to figure out where in the world do I shade? Okay,
What?
where do I shade? These have to be shaded. So let's go back to the two answers you got. Okay, it says y has to be greater than -4. So give me values that are greater than -4.
-3.
-3, -2. So this point, this point, this point, this point, these are all greater than -4 on my y.
Math.
What values are less than 6 on my x?
4, 5.
4, 5, 2, all of these. So I shade in the area where those answers fall. Those are all true. Those are all solutions to my answers. So I needed to shade y values that were greater than -4. So I had to be above that -4. And I needed to shade in the area that was less than 6 on my x. So to the left of 6. So that is that top area. So when I'm trying to shade above, I'm looking for greater than or equal to. And when I shade below, I'm looking for less than or equal to. This clue's in on page 40. 40. And find graphing linear inequalities, practice 1. No, only when we test. Tomorrow's a quiz. Your next unit test will not be next week, it'll be the week after. Page 40. Yes.
On what? I hate math. I said on what?
On everything in unit 2 so far. So graphing linear equations, finding your slope.
I tried to learn that.
40. 39 should have been that other one we did yesterday.
I can do all my words. Right, my grade is I got a 40. Mom, I'm tired of my paper flying. Grade good. Thanks. What's your grade? Mine got
Because your test scores are low. Have you come for test corrections?
What is that? I'm busy on Tuesday. I'll have to feed myself.
Okay, once you put that in, I need you to grab graphing linear inequalities, practice number 1.
Whoa. We have to go there.
From middle school, Jack.
No, we're doing out of school. No, they don't. They didn't think you missed it. Can you give my,
Yes, I do.
What kind of stuff did you go through?
Yes, because of your behavior, therefore it is an absence.
No, but y'all put us out of school. Right. So we
Because
have
of
to-
your behavior, therefore it is an absence. It is your fault you were out of school.
I believe that yourself down.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun though.
Okay,
It was good.
You're probably right.
It was just.
let's see how you prefer it in slope-intercept form. You may want to go back to this method. Okay, instead of doing your x is 0, your y is 0. So this one is already in slope-intercept form. So let's identify.
Can we please stop tapping the rollers? It's really annoying.
What is my slope in this equation? What was it? 2/3. Your slope is 2/3, so that tells me I'm moving how? Up and over to the right. Okay. What is my y-intercept? +3. Okay. Before we go to graph, should this graph be a dotted or a solid line? Why?
It's greater.
Equal to.
It's got this equal to, so that means this is a solid line. And how should I shade if it's greater than? Greater. So am I shading above or below? Above. So we shade above. Okay. Greater than. That tells me I'm looking for numbers that are bigger. So those are the numbers that are above. Okay. Okay. So let's go and graph it. My y-intercept tells me I need to start at 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Again, we need to make sure we're addressing our mistakes we were making yesterday. Make sure when you graph your y-intercept, you are graphing on your y-axis, not your x. Okay. That was a big issue. So your y-intercept is +3. From there, we can go up to and to the right 3. So we count 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. When we connect, you told me it's a solid line. So I can draw a solid line. And I shade above the line because we're greater than. So, tell me this. If I said the point 2, 0, is this a solution? Is 2, 0 a solution? what would you tell me?
Maybe. Yes.
Not here. Yes, no, maybe.
No? It's what? You said it, repeat that.
Why do you say no, Brenda? Where's the 0.2 comma 0? Okay, think about it. Your 0.2 comma 0 is right here.
What is this?
If you were listening to anything that I said, you would understand. But no, I hear all this talking that doesn't need to be happening. Okay. I asked, is the 0.2 comma 0 a solution? Okay. So if you look on the graph, the 0.2 comma 0 is where I marked this X. Is that in the shaded or the non-shaded region? Non-shaded, which means it is not a solution. Okay. So Brenda, you were absolutely correct. That is not a solution because it's not in the shaded region. Anything that's up in the shaded area would be a solution. Okay. It has to be in the shaded area. Okay. Yeah. The greater than sign. It's not greater than, so it's not a solution. Mhm. Okay. So we're going to try to change this into slope-intercept form. So when I want to change it to slope-intercept form, I need to first move my X to the other side. How do I do that?
So add
Add
the opposite of whatever's happening.
Opposite of whatever's happening. So what is happening?
adding.
It's adding. So opposite is subtract. So negative 4y is less than or equal to negative 2x minus 8.
Oh.
Okay, y is still not alone. I need to get it alone. How do I get rid of that negative 4? Divide. And I'm dividing by a negative number, which means I need to do what? Change the sign. So y is now less than or equal, or I'm sorry, greater than, my bad. Greater than or equal to. What's negative 2 divided by negative 4? 2/4 is the same as 1/2. So 1/2 x. And negative 8 over negative 4 becomes positive 2. Okay, don't forget, those two negatives cancel out and give us a positive. Okay. So now, when I go to graph, what is my starting point? 2. So I start at 2. Okay, Sabi says my slope tells me then I go up 1 and to the right by 2. Okay, before I draw my line, should I be solid or dotted here?
Solid.
Solid, it's greater than or equal to. And it's also shade above. Good, Xavier. Okay, so again, the recap. This equal sign right here tells me that my line is solid. Okay. Yeah, we had to flip it because we divided by that negative 4. Okay. And now I'm greater than, which means I shade above. Of course. This one has This one has 11 problems on it.
That's for homework.
Why did the 3 pigs leave home?
You don't need word from. Sounds like at home, bro.
I mean,
When I be outside and I be so tired when I get in the house.
Yes. That's what you're trying to figure out. Why did the 3 pigs leave home?
they're gonna get turned into bacon.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. We'll have to solve it and find out.
They're gonna die.
Okay, 2x plus y is greater than negative 2. How do I get y by itself?
Subtract.
Subtract 2x. So y is greater than negative 2x minus 2. Is y by itself now?
Yes.
Yes. I need to go no farther. I just need my slope and my y-intercept. So what's my slope? Negative 2. Make sure you turn it into a fraction so it's over 1. And my y-intercept is negative 2. Okay. Should my line be solid or dotted here? This is a dotted or a dashed or a broken line. And do I shade above or below?
No,
Above. That is greater than. So we shade above. Okay. So when I go to graph, this means we start at negative 2. And I go down 2 and to the right 1. So my line, when I graph it, should be going downhill. Please make sure that you are doing a dotted or a dashed or broken line. A solid line here would be incorrect.
yes, stop.
That's fine. A lot of people like to draw the solid line and then they go back and erase parts to make it broken. That's fine. Some people say it's extra. Some people say it's easier. I don't know. I like to draw my dotted line. So
Even if
Even if you have a square, that one is, you put solid, that's so much for it.
yes.
Do divide by 4.
Okay.
What is what?
It doesn't.
Right.
It may take, you may think it's solid, honestly, but they can't write it. It's not really- so it's still-
Yes. Okay. 3x minus 4y is less than 12. What do I need to move first? The 3x by doing what? Subtract it. So negative 4y is less than negative 3x plus 12. We got to get y by itself, so I have to divide by negative 4, which means I also have to do what? Change my sign. Y is greater than now. 3 over 4, does that reduce? You leave it. There is nothing that divides into 3 that also divides into 4. Okay, the only thing that changes is we've got a negative divided by a negative, which makes it a positive 3/4. And 12 divided by a negative 4 is a negative 3. Okay, so Identify your y-intercept. Identify your slope. Tell me, should my line be dotted or solid? And tell me, do I shade above or below?
Dotted.
Solid.
Dotted.
No.
Dotted.
Be dotted. Because it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
She's just trying to help. They call him out, he's thrown it.
Yeah.
Wanna meet me at the playground after school?
So, yesterday. Monday.
At your job? Where you work?
Oh my God.
I saw her.
Out by, going towards.
Yeah, so this is solid.
My daughter goes to the daycare right down there. It's Hawkins Church. Right there. There's a house in the front and then there's a church right behind. Hey, so Amor, where's my y-intercept in this one? Where do I start? Y-intercept's -3. What's my slope? 3/4. Okay, so we start at -3. And I go up 3 and to the right by 4. Brenda said my line should be dotted because I don't have an equal to. And Rayvon, because I'm now greater than, how should I shade, above or below?
No, below.
Okay. Listen, y'all need to start paying attention. When I call out names, I need them to respond and I need y'all to be quiet. Okay? I'm trying to get some people that don't speak to actually give me some answers. I love that you know it and you can tell me it, but I need you to give them all a chance. Okay. This one is here for a purpose. Because a lot of you make a mistake when I give you problems like this. Okay? So, to help you out, I would probably put these ones in there. Okay? I would probably put those ones in there. Because the biggest mistake is you lose that negative in front of the y. You just. Yes, you can do that. Okay, so I need to move my x to the other side by subtract. So, -1y is less than -1x plus 3. Okay, I need y by itself. Right now, it's not. It is not a positive. So I need to divide by that -1. That's what most of you are forgetting. So because I'm dividing by a -1, flip the sign. Negative over a negative makes this a positive 1x. And a positive 3 divided by a -1, -3. Okay, slope is 1 over 1. Y-intercept is -3. So, -3. And this time when I move, I'm going where? Up 1 and to the right 1. Should my line be solid or dotted? Dotted. And am I shading above or below? Above. Wow, these are a lot of shading above.
Wait.
Did you notice we haven't really shaded below at all?
Wait. How is that positive? You do what a negative.
How is what?
How is it positive?
Because when I moved my x, it was negative, and then when I divided by a negative divided by a negative makes it a positive.
I thought I had to do that. Oh, wait, never mind.
Huh? Good? Oh, because you just kept the negative and went down and to the left. That's not right. You went down and to the right. That's not right. It's not a negative slope. Fix it. You don't want to have wrong answers.
Wait, but this, I think below. I think below.
Because you're reading it upside down. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, the reason why that last question is, you shaded it above, you divide the negative with that one.
So we had to switch the sign. All right, this one.
It's already done.
It's already done for us. Oh, they're so sweet. What's the slope here? 2/1, which means up and to the right. And what's my y-intercept? 1. So, +1 up 2/1.
And this will be.
This one's going to shade below. This one is less than.
Wait, you still pick up the solid line.
This one is below. And it should be solid. Okay? It's less than or equal to, so you need a solid line. And this one shades below. Okay. You need to fold this up. It glues in on page 41. Okay. Right now, I need you to be working on graphing linear inequalities, practice number 2. When you are finished with that, I will give you your homework.
Wait, do these hold? Whoa.
Okay?
What page?
41.
But we move on.
41.
You.
You have to finish. Listen. You have to finish graphing inequalities, practice number 2, to get your homework. If you don't finish it, you're getting your homework at the end of class, and your homework will be homework. You will not have time in class to work on it. So, do not sit here and have conversation and not get done what you need to get done. Because the more you play around in here, the more you're going to have to do at home.
So both these are on the same
Okay?
page?
Yes, they're going to both glue in on 41.
You want me to-
So when you're done with number 2, it's also going to glue in on 41. This one?
I'm so sorry.